Good morning, everyone. This is Keisha with A Royal Healing and Moody Mothers Against Narcissistic Abuse. First, I would like to apologize for my absence and aiding in my own recovery and healing. This process and experience has been very difficult, especially when you have trouble with your own emotional mental health. I have been struggling with this mental illness for a very long time, and since childhood, basically. And now that I am able to speak freely, I guess I'm going to take that opportunity to do so. I am still healing from this emotional and psychological pain or abuse, shall I say, and recovering from drugs. On this journey, I've discovered that your family will either, excuse my language, F over you first and your friends will do it later, or vice versa. So, heed this warning. If you haven't gotten in touch with yourself, do that. You're going to find that you are going to be your best friend, your only best friend, besides God. Let's see. Well, I guess I'll start from where I remember. When I was a little girl, I remember talking to the heavens, and my father suggested that I leave the house that I was in, which was my mother's house. I was at my grandparents' house with my mom, and I believe it was the day that they recaptured me, because I believe I was at a different location and then was taken from that location and brought to Tacoma, to the east side of Tacoma, where I became a slave and a flunky and a doormat and a scapegoat for virtually all of Pierce County. I was hidden in warehouses. I was taken from house to house, treated like a dog. And when I say treated like a dog, I mean I was kept in dog houses, fed shit, you name it. They tried to humiliate me and completely, if I'm saying this word right, obliterate me. They tried to do away with me several times. All because I mentioned the Lord's name, because I mentioned God's name. Well, I'm not going to put my running shoes on this time, but I guess, the same thing just might happen again, because I'm not going to deny my God. I am the Lord's child. And my father sent me here to find out what narcissism is about. And boy, did I get my fill. Now, when he asked me to run out of the house, I was frightened. I was a child. And I really wish that I would have listened to him and just would have gotten this over with when he asked me to. But he said that they were going to kill me, and I asked him, how long will I be dead? And he said, 3 days, and I will raise you. And that's what happened. After I woke up, I went back to the Garraway's house and knocked on their door. And of course, their response was like they were speechless because they couldn't believe that I was alive. Um, I don't remember too much what happened after that because they put a hex on me. So yeah, I'm taking long pauses as I'm trying to make sure that I can articulate to the best of my ability and make sense and get this all off of my chest in one, not in one swoop, but you see, when you're raised by a narcissist, they do everything in their power to make sure that they confuse you, that they have you hanging on a string, like a pork chop dangling on a string in front of a dog, and as soon as you go toward it, like they take it away. So I was on edge. I spent my entire life on edge, unsure. My self-esteem was never developed. My self-worth never developed. And the people who say they love you really don't, because they don't love themselves. But it doesn't negate the fact that you and I were raised this way. It still doesn't erase the fact that we were hurt. And it doesn't erase the fact that we're, our healing, everybody's healing is a little bit different. Some people heal faster than others. When you don't have anybody and you're reaching and grasping for someone to just hold your hand through this process and you have no one, what are you to do when you're severely codependent? For me, I continued to use drugs because that's what I knew. Despite the fact of who I was or what my title is or anything like that, my hurt and pain did not deplete overnight. And I might have gone about it the wrong way. I even picked up drinking for a second there, and that just was not my thing. Drinking is not my thing. I've had enough family members and friends to drink, to go ahead and take on that for me. I don't need that. But weed went. I started smoking weed. Weed went from, after weed was cocaine, was methamphetamines, and then heroin. And I have been clean for just a short period of time off the heroin and also the methamphetamines, which I used actually last night to get a pleasant push, but I do not plan on going back to it full time. I am weaning myself off. And I will be the first one to admit that my drug use put a big wedge between my son and myself. Absolutely. Just because I was raised a certain way, at some point we all become adults. And my choices have been have not been the best. Um, they have not been the best. And if it weren't for my friends that I've met along the way, my friends' mothers I've met along the way, strangers and other people that I've come in contact throughout my life, I thank God for them as well, because what I did not learn at home, they taught me. They were able to teach me some things. I was um, on fire for the Lord at one time, and as close as I did try to stay close, as much as I try to stay close to Him, um, you know, wanting to be wanted and wanting to be a part of something, a clique or a friend, be in the popular crowd, which, some people really just want to be accepted. And I was one of those people. I was hurt when I went home, from school, and when I got up in the morning to go to school, it continued. So it's like there was no break in between until I have my time with God. You know, when you're forced to come to a state and people, it's like people were already alerted. They turn on you instantaneously, and it's like, wow, you know, okay. You go to your mom or your grandmother or your uncles for some support, and they're like, nope, handle it yourself, you know. But in the meanwhile, they're egging these people on to make fun of me and to tease me and to bully me. I can't stand bullies. Bullies are actually, you know, bullies are cowards. They're cowards. People that can't use their words and express themselves by, you know, talking it over. I mean, that's just what I was taught, you know. But then again, I didn't have any boundaries either. When you're raised by a narcissist, you're not allowed to have boundaries or privacy or anything like that. They project their insecurities onto you. So then their insecurities become your insecurities, and then you're wondering where these insecurities really came from. And why do I feel so shameful and so guilty, you know? With me, I was talked into robbing a lot of houses. And so once I robbed a house and got in trouble, I got in trouble from them because when someone came and told my family what I was doing, they were astounded, like they didn't ask me to go do it. So it's things like that that started the crazy making for me, you know, and all I wanted was love. And so they would say, well, if you can do this for us, or if you can let us molest you today, or, you know, play with this body part, or you can play with one of our body parts, we'll love you today. And I didn't think that that should be one of the options. And I asked why, you know, is this like this? This is wrong. And their answer was, this is the way they like it. That's what they like to do. Now, there was a time where I remember myself being real sassy. I mean, you couldn't tell me nothing. I had a mouth on me that every time an adult said something, I had an answer for you. I had an answer and a reason behind it, and no, you weren't going to get me to do it. I missed that Keisha, if that was really my name. And so, um, yeah, I miss her. I'm trying to get her back. I left her somewhere in the midst of all of my abuse, spiritual, verbal, emotional, psychological, physical abuse I endured as a child. And for the physical abuse, well, yeah, I just recently stopped allowing my mom to beat on me about 2 years ago, and I'm 46 years old. Never hit her back, but I allowed her to beat on me. Yes, I did. That's unfortunate because I was taught to never raise your hand to your mother, but I was her punching bag along with other, you know. Standing up for myself has never really come easy, but I'm going to make it my mission to start standing up for myself because I am worthy. And I just want to let everybody know that in the midst of my storm and my rain, hopefully the sunshine will come out. This is my first episode of A Royal Healing and Moody Mothers Against Narcissistic Abuse. I hope you tune in for more. Thank you, and God bless you all.